A new abortion law went into effect, which essentially bans abortion after about 6 weeks of pregnancy, when a heartbeat can be detected. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, that's not a baby. It can't survive outside of the womb yet. Oh, okay. So when a preemie is born, do we put him into the incubators, or do we just let him go? They can't survive outside of an incubator, so they're not really people. How about the people who are mentally delayed? Well, until they're not mentally delayed, they're not really people. This is a crazy idea from Texas. I'm telling you right now, that is nuts. Don't kill people who have a heartbeat. Wow. They're out on the edge. This crazy idea to save the lives of the most vulnerable, defenseless humans is so outrageous that President Biden had to release a statement condemning this monstrous law because it, quote, I think somebody at the White House interpreted that as saying it blatantly violates the constitutional right established under Roe versus Wade. Doesn't that sound like him? And it will significantly impair women's access to health care that they need, particularly for communities of color and individuals with low incomes, end quote. So, kill more of the black babies? Whoa, that's exactly what Margaret Sanger said. You guys are so much alike, and you're trying to tell us you're not like an early 20th century progressive. You're trying to tell us you don't believe in eugenics. Come on, you crazy kids. So let me get this right. Lunch Bucket Joe got to make sure the babies from these colored communities have an easy path to the human ovens. It's healthcare, man. Come on, man. No joke. A lot of time when the left loses its mind over something, you pretty much know you're on the right track. You know, when you have enemies and they're on the far left, you're like, all right, I think I'm going to print up some T-shirts. They hate me. Every Texan should feel proud of their state today. Since the left is calling us the American Taliban because of this law, and you know the American left, they are all, let me tell you, as somebody who's been over to the Middle East and has people on the ground in the Middle East right now, I can't tell you how many leftist organizations we're working with to try to rescue those women and children. Oh my gosh, they're just everywhere. And possibly invisible because we haven't seen any. Let their hatred flow. And you know what? We're already in a cold civil war. We do live in two countries. And I'm fine. You want to go ahead and do abortion and kill babies? I think it's wrong. And I'll fight you in every way that I possibly can in the progressive way of slowly changing the laws. But I personally think Texas will be blessed for this. And, you know, go ahead, make your state as evil as they come. Let's just watch the results. There is good versus evil right now, and I'm thrilled to say that I live in Texas, who has made the choice for life. Now, that doesn't sound like the American Taliban. You know, because you know what the American Taliban would do? Well, they do what they're doing right now, you know, over in Afghanistan. And that's cut the tongues out of people who disagree with them. But we need to watch them. They need to prove themselves. We got to see what they're doing. We have to watch them before we deem them an enemy. I know if you interpreted for the United States, they're just cutting the tongue out of your face. No big deal, right? That happens all the time. We have a fundamental duty to protect life. It's not rocket science. It's called baseline humanity. So a note to the president and his enlightened allies. What are you thinking, man? Come on, no joke. Honestly, have you thought for more than 2 seconds what abortion is? Seriously. Americans are disgusted and fed up with your lies. We're not going to take them anymore. We're not going to participate in them anymore. We're sick of the insanely arrogant way that you commandeer language and assume that by tweaking a few words, you can magically create a new truth. It's reproductive care. No, it's not. It's killing kids. That's what it is. Killing kids. Planned Parenthood basically is just a new form of the Nazi oven. It started to thin out the herd, get rid of the undesirables. And then they decided after visiting Germany, no, it's reproductive care. It's family planning. Oh, okay. It's pro-choice. You can dress up the words all you want, but you can't forever disguise killing. The science, follow science, that crazy thing. The science of abortion is indisputable. It terminates life. Well, Texas is saying no more. It's almost 50 years in this American Holocaust. And Texas is saying no more. I think we're done with that. Now, you can be furious at Texas over the election laws. Oh, my gosh. Worse than Jim Crow. I think that the people who lived under those Jim Crow laws might disagree and think that you're an abomination. Or the mask mandates. Oh, that's great. Or I love this one. Or don't go to the hospital if you haven't had a vaccine because we're going to force everybody. We should just force everybody to have a vaccine. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. We could debate some of those things. But the fury over the Texas abortion law is totally misguided because defending life is non-negotiable. They've been saying all week, you're only saving Christians. But we're not just saving Christians now, are we? Gosh, that's weird. You know why? Because we believe all humans should be able to survive and not have their tongues cut out, not be tortured, not be raped every day, not be sold as a 12-year-old bride. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. But I like to call those basic human rights. Texas is on the right side of history here. And for half of the country who are willfully blind to the horrors of abortion, and you won't look at what it is. Oh, I can't see that. I don't want to look at that. Why not? It's just a surgical procedure. You don't want to look. I can't look and see they're pulling the arms and the legs off of babies and putting them into a petri dish. Why? It's just a cell. It's a clump of cells. It's been running through my mind a lot. And they were written by a guy who was very anti-slavery. Yeah. He was the guy who actually put it in the Declaration of Independence. Others took it out. His name was Thomas Jefferson. And when we didn't stop slavery, he wrote these words. The God who gave us life gave us liberty. Indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, and his justice cannot sleep forever. I promise you, those words are true, and those words are about to come to pass. I'm glad I live in Texas, a state that is at least trying to be on the right side.